Hello, hello. This is Anytype Town Hall of 2024. I hope you hear me well. Let's wait maybe 1 more minute for people to trickle in. I'm super excited to be here and to see that so many people are interested in talking to us and reviewing this year and also looking into 2025. So in maybe 1 minute we will start, and I also see my team members here. Very happy to see your faces. And as usual, this call will be recorded, and you also can use the chat in Zoom to share your feelings and ask questions, comment on what you see. So if you have questions, please write them there. I'm not sure we will answer all the questions, but we already grouped all the questions from the community forum, and we will try to answer as many as possible, and hope this will be an hour well spent. So let's wait maybe a couple of more seconds, and then we will start the last town call of 2024.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. So we have Anton here, and we have a few more team members, and some of them will join us in presenting. Okay, so the town hall, the last town hall of 2024. Happy to see you here, and I want to start by reviewing the 2024, what we have delivered, and then looking more into the future, what's ahead of us especially in the first half of 2025, and there is some bonus in the end. So let's start by appreciating just this timeline that shows this is not all we have delivered, just a part of it, but I would like to appreciate and say thank you to the team for delivering so many things. And now I would like to start by just going through the biggest of them, what we have shipped in 2024. So if 2023 was the year of open beta, then 2024 was the year of multiplayer. We started Anytype with a vision of making...
This meeting is being recorded.
We started Anytype with a vision of making digital freedoms unconditional to all, because we think that privacy of thoughts and communication is precious, and that freedom to connect with our families, our friends, our teams and communities should be without a cloud in between. And after years of R&D, we have been able to deliver scalable local first collaboration with over encrypted data with user controlled keys. What that means is that now with Anytype you can collaborate with thousands of others in real time. Now we can go to other things we delivered this year.
Maybe
to Yura.
Yuri, yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Jana. And so we start from the global search, and search is a crucial part of navigation in Anytype, and which is why we are enhancing it for different languages. And we have improved accuracy for some queries and made performance enhancement. So to make the search better for users, and more improvements concerning the search will come later, of course. We will continue working on that part of application. Yeah. The next thing we would like to highlight is new views for widgets. Widgets are also the fundamental part of Anytype user interface. So we've provided new layouts for them. now users can choose different views in widgets based on the collection layout, for instance, or create an object with widget directly from widget creation menu. So we will also continue working on such part of user interface in Anytype as well. So the next part is a small one, but pretty important. It's sync status, or oh, no. It's okay. It's a different. Okay, yeah, sync status. So data security and reliability are two of the most important concepts in Anytype. So now users can see that objects are backed up on the Anytype network, along with the status of P2P connection with other devices that is syncing data without even global internet. So Anytype network, backup your data, and P2P connection are making sync between devices without the internet. And the last but not least is version history. So now users can see the complete pictures of changes while working with objects. Especially it's important in shared spaces where all changes made by space members are visible right now. And yeah, so it's one of the most important features for collaboration mode and for future improvement, our multiplayer. So thank you very much. It was really nice to see you once again. And
yeah, thank you, Yura. So another thing, it's a very controversial feature because many of you were like, why I need it if I have the object of the everything, where you basically can find a set of objects and find everything. But we figure out with interview with new people who new to Anytype that they have a problem of understanding the initial concepts, and especially there is a problem of with the question where I can find all my objects. I just created a node. Should I go to the graph or something like this? So for this, we introduced all objects, where you can find objects defined by some formats, and also laid work for future, especially the project with new primitives, which we highlight a little bit later. Also, so when you have many spaces which are constantly updating, for example, I have 26 spaces in Anytype, it's really essential to be able to easily switch them. And for mobile, we introduced new space switcher, what we call it, and it will evolve soon, early next year, when we introduce more functionality and when we envision we will have more spaces. This was part of this update. So like overall, we squashed and more than around 600 bugs and feature quality of life improvements. It's all on top of this big projects that we showed, or like bigger project that we showed you. So for us, as Jana mentioned, user sovereignty, autonomy, and privacy are foundational concepts, and it would be much more easier for us to build and much more faster, but we can't compromise here. And the two big achievements of this year is updated Anything protocol that can support multiplayer now and bring this sovereignty, and also AnyStore, which is a local object store, which would allow us to work faster. It's more scalable and extendable. And this is the foundation for the features that we release next year, especially many of you asked some features like transclusions, better features when you work with databases, and messaging functionality is also crucial for that. And messaging functionality, exactly the first thing which are testing with this local object store. And in the future, we plan to move editor and our databases to this foundational feature. Also, what's cool that it's completely open sourced with full open source license. Other developers will be able to build something on top, but it will be much easier. So it's kind of database, local database, which is replicable among clients, and you can build whatever application you want.
So all the work that we do, it wasn't possible if we would not invest, I think, half of our efforts into infrastructure.
Yeah. So the next slide. So, and that's not the end. The next week we release a last update for this year, and it contains simple formulas, like many of you were really waiting for, and the data is an object as a part of the project. Data is an object and tag is an object. Tag is an object coming the next year, and also shareable entry space finally, and also deletable. So you will be able to do this. Yeah, that's now. It was about 24, and now we are going to 25, and it's not about all 25, it's more about the first quarter of 25. So the first thing is the group chat. This is the feature, basically the first prototype we made as a team when we were only the team of 4 people. It was a group chat on peer-to-peer architecture, and this is feature which essential for the proper collaboration. For example, with Jana, we have one-to-one space. When we only have documents, we work together, and we were discussing this in Slack or in other messengers. And now with the version which we are already testing, and we're testing it not only internally, it's already available for nightly ops group. Now you can have conversations and it works very well, super exciting. If you're curious to test it early, please join nightly ops group and help us to make it better.
I'm most excited about this feature because finally we can just be in the same interface, writing documents, collaborating on them, and then discussing it in large teams, and definitely it's really fast and local. So I hope you also will enjoy and that the collaboration or shared spaces experience will really change, at least this changes for us.
Going to the next very exciting one, which is primitives. So one of the most requested feature on our forum is ability to apply template to existing objects. And when we have types, many of you ask why I just can't use a type as a template for everything. So this is the new project we are working on and testing already and plan to release next year, which would allow you to set settings of a type, and then it will apply to all objects. And this is very exciting. We also need help from your side because it's not easy to transfer from the current model to this one. There will be a lot of edge cases. Early next year, we would welcome you to help us to test this functionality before we release it to everyone. Yeah, now Vasily will show another exciting thing.
Yay. Hi, everyone. Another highly anticipated feature, web publishing. Each of us at some point of your life in Anytype wanted to share an object or a page with a friend or a colleague using just a web link in the browser. And this will finally be possible with advent of web publishing. And now in this video demo, you can see an example how it works in rather intense Anytype page with multiple objects, blocks, different types, even the 3D model, formulas, latex, and so on. Many standard blocks are supported now, like lists, images, videos, whatsoever. Other more complex blocks will be added in the future soon after the release. So let's wait for the beginning of next year. And this will make it easier to invite people to your spaces, present your work, and share it with people from the outside. And it works pretty well. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasily. So another thing which is essential for the way our infrastructure works, it's Anytype identity. So some of you already bought a membership in our network and you got your name. This name barely usable right now but with introduction of collaborative features, it will be the key. Because when you have a decentralized network, how would you know that you work with the person, that it's exactly this person? Usually in the classical environments, you have a server which you trust, and this server communicates to you that this is the person, exactly this person. In our system, it's decentralized, so you need some kind of identity, and this is exactly the part with this beautiful card designed by Paul coming next year, and it will be the key for the communication features. Then we have another, please. Yeah, this is.
Yes, hello
Welcome,
guys.
Yanis.
Hello guys, nice to see you. So yeah, in the grand scheme of API integrations, we've been working on something exciting, which is a Raycast extension for Anytype. And this is going to be the first implementation of what is stage 1 of the local REST API that's going to come to Anytype. So for the developers in the room, that means, yeah, we're building what's necessary to allow external interaction with Anytype, let it be through automations or through extensions. And what you can already see here, you have a couple of commands inside the Raycast extension. They allow you, for example, to search through all your spaces, so all your content you have in your space, filter accordingly to kind here, specify your query. You can previously saw that you can browse spaces one by one, see the members, see the objects, see the types. And yeah, what's also easier for the extension is creating objects on the fly. So here you can see I'm creating a new task, and this was successfully created in the Anytype wiki space. So yeah, that's a preview of what we're going to keep building going into 2025. And I'm sure once the API is ready, you're going to build even more exciting stuff with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Yanis. Also, what Yanis didn't show, that we have already experiments with local AI, which already works, and it's super exciting because API was exactly needed for that. And
but this will be part of the next town hall.
Yeah,
We don't
next
show anything, so
yeah,
that
we
we
will
don't
show
show
that.
everything in one.
Yeah, so now the most exciting part is questions and answers, and yeah, I'm happy to proceed. Okay, so let's switch off on the sound here. Yeah, okay.
Let's not share. Stop
Yeah, we
sharing.
have some questions which were already prepared from our forum. We start with them, and then we go to live questions that we have in the chat. Okay, the first question is advanced collaboration in shared spaces. What is the vision and timeline for collaboration in shared spaces? Suggestion mode, inline comments, object-wide comments, and notifications. So notifications is already in our timeline. We plan to release them together with first iteration of group chats in the end of January. The inline comments and inline comments coming later together with discussions, when you will be able to discuss every object. It's more like you do it in Linear, for example. And when you will, yes, in Linear, suggestion mode is not planned yet. Yes, so this is coming later. So this is the, so then another question, what are the some things that the team excelled in the past year? Are there any areas where you are especially looking to improve on in 2025? I would say we made it with multiplayer, and this is the biggest achievement of ours. And this brought us numbers, and our numbers really are the highest numbers ever we have at Anytype. We see people
We have
using
grown
and love.
to 20,000 daily active users. And overall, multiplayer started as networked vision of Anytype. So that was the biggest achievement.
Also, as a team, we work right now much more efficient, I would say. We plan better, and we never planned this year. Still,
Still new kind of technology, and still it's very difficult to plan the exact month. But overall, hitting the right season has been almost on track or on track.
Yeah, for the next year, I think it's important for us to nail user experience, and this is one of the key priorities for us. And also, we want to improve how we plan and communicate with community. The next, what is the current main focus? Anytype for companies, Anytype for normal users, groundwork, UX, new features. We still are looking for the main use case and still developing the foundational infrastructure. We don't have notifications, and many things should be delivered next year. And while we are doing it, we are looking for use cases, and we have few in mind, but the main focus for us is quality, stability, and user experience. And then we have several hypotheses that we will test next year. And so right now it's hard to say where most of our focus will be, but we will be communicating it with community updates. Soon, I think maybe next week, I will publish on the forum a letter to community with how we see the next year and how we plan to work. So then we could have a discussion there on this topic. So I think the next question you answered, how many users do we have? And I think, and how many, there was a question, how many customers we have to. So there is another important question. What is the end goal for Anytype? What is the vision that you want to realize with Anytype? First, it was note-taking app, then we heard about operating system, and then it seems more going towards collaborative application. When we started, and I don't know, our first presentation was that we are building decentralized web operating system, and we wanted to create only interface level, like unified user interface, we called it. And it's a very ambitious goal. And of course, end goal for us will be to build the sovereign software, ideally operating system that user control and decide on which term they use. However, it's very, very ambitious goal, and we should go step by step. And we started with note-taking use cases because our infrastructure were not ready for collaborative use cases. Now we are going towards collaborative use cases and still on the path of searching. Once we feel that people really, really love it, then we can elaborate from there somewhere else. But as an end goal, we want to build the endpoint through which you communicate through the internet, which is by design decentralized, but the web became centralized. So we want to build alternative.
In terms of focus, that's why we think this communication and collaboration use cases will be becoming more and more priority for us, because when we think that privacy and ownership and control of data is important, this control of the communication channel is even more important. And if you want to go away from cloud, we here want to go away completely. That's why we try to not only move our thoughts, but move our communication so that we can have our teams and families and communities with no cloud in between.
Yeah. So there is a question from that guy, our constant member of our community, if there are any plans for communicating better with community. It seems that comms have become less consistent and quality during the last year or so. So we definitely committed to communicate better, and as soon as chats are ready to use, we would love to communicate there. It's very hard also to have many communication channels. We have Reddit, we have a Telegram group, we have community forum, and we have a lot on our plate, and it's not always easy to find the time to communicate. We plan to narrow scope of the ways we communicate and put more efforts into it. So that's. There is another important question by Gray Arc that about the login method, and that for some people concerned that using keychain phrase is not as secure as it may seem. I could argue that it's basically the most secure way, because this way whole crypto market secured. It's trillions of dollars. But however, we recognize it's the not most convenient way. And some people just want to use classical login via email, something like this. And we have plans for the next year. We plan to introduce this more traditional login system, which would not compromise your ownership. So using Shamir secret key share scheme, so you would able to set your own password, log in with your email or phone number, and or have a key chain phrase as you have, and then you need only 2 parts of this to recover on any device. So this I hope will meet your expectations.
So there was a question to me about the blog post on our Substack, Positive Sum, and if you haven't joined or haven't subscribed to our Substack, I highly recommend it. This is a new blog that will be more focused on why we are building it and on more general topics, not on Anytype as a product. But there, in the article, the Dukrian asked if I could elaborate on the last line of the Substack post, which was, we think that the next frontier in local first software is applying local first principles and ideas into the design of social spaces. Do you have any hypothetical examples? So what do we mean by social, why local first social is so exciting? Because local first means this privacy and mostly ownership of what you're creating. And we talk more about all kinds of social one-to-one communication between me and Anton. For example, this we mean by local first social. So that's we want to take out of the cloud hands and have a direct communication so that there is no one in between, literally. Then channels to if you want to have something like a blog, but that you truly own, and maybe not a blog, maybe just a channel for your family that is fully private and no big tech company, not Anytype, no one would be able to access it, that kind of social experiences. But of course, all kind of collaborative social discussions, experiences that would both feed teamwork, but also communities, because we talk to a lot of communities. And of course, on all the cloud platforms, they rent their own community. So basically, they create a large audience or have a fruitful community, but or like on places like Reddit, etc., the platform decides what will be the future of all these communities. And we think that local first social is the logical step from local first knowledge management. Local first social is, we believe, is even more important, because not only data is important, but the communication channel. And all of these examples are exactly where the channel of communication is equally important to the data, but maybe even more so.
Okay. So then we can go through the questions in the chat. So there is this, the question I just see on my screen. What would you do if suddenly a company like Notion would like to buy you? I would say we don't have enough of courage to not being for sale. For now, never say never, but it's never being the purpose of our organization. And we even set it up as a association in Switzerland, which is not for profit organization, and no plans for that. And anyway, we have commitment to the open source. So it's just in the worst case scenario, our software is open sourced. But we don't have these plans, and even we don't have talks on this.
I would even say I think it's not a secret that me and Anton plan to work on this
for a long time.
For this life, you know, so we don't plan to change this thing to something else. So there is no, we don't have this kind of dreams of an exit. this is the thing that we want to build and contribute, and exiting to any kind of company is just not
aligned with the purpose.
It's not aligned with the purpose. We are excited about bringing more contributors as you and others into building together with us, so that we are currently we are at the stage we are mostly developing by a small team, and there are of course translations and other contributions, but they play so far a very small role. And we hope actually in 5 years that will change, and that more contributions in terms of integrations, imports, or even themes and many other things will be built by thousands and thousands of others. This is our dream, to scale our team and to become and for this to become a community project. This is what we are dreaming about, not about exiting.
Yeah. So I'm going through the randomly through the questions. Will there be a security crypt review? Of course, definitely will be. Next year we plan to launch publicly a network. We'll see how it goes, but it's a prerequisite to go through any through security and review. Also would like to know if the possibilities to securely to selectively sync, for example, text but not images, currently do this to avoid bloating my storage space. We right now don't have this in our plans, but we recognize this is essential for the future. So this is obviously, especially on mobile device, to allow you to selectively sync spaces and types of content within them.
I saw there was a lot of comments on prices, and that our memberships are too expensive for some of the regions, like Asian regions. And we are currently in the discussions of how we can make any kind of plans that are more affordable, so this point is raised, and we also think that there could be a way for another tier or another combination that would be an entry point. An entry price should be lowered to as much as possible, like $1-2 per month. We are trying to target some plan like that.
So there is a question from Thomas: when is the next release? Late January. The next release will be the next week. However, it will be only half of what was planned in this release. It will create data as an object and simple counters like formulas, and the web publishing and tag as an object and new primitives coming the next year. So web publishing definitely in January. Other will depend on the test. So you could help us with test alpha version.
Group chat is targeted also for the end of January.
Yeah. Then go.
I also saw that many of you reported there is a problem with Web Clipper in Chrome. So we noted and we'll look into the problem.
So are there any improvements in the works for the self-hosting Docker and guide? I think Sergey answered, but in general, I would answer the next, maybe in the second half of the next year, we may introduce the simpler self-hosting, so you can self-host only your own spaces, but while right now you self-host your own network. Like a provider. So it's much harder because it takes more knowledge for this. And the simple self-hosting will be easier. Will the upcoming API support webhooks so we can not only query data from Graph, but push data to existing apps? I think Yanis maybe can answer this. How do you envision this? The question if it will be webhooks like API, so we can not only query data from the graph, but push data to existing apps on certain actions.
Yeah, this would be rather for a later stage. So in the first stage of the API, we would focus on simple create, read, update, delete operations. But yeah, depending on your feedback, we can
So
take this.
we see that this needs to be the next evolution of the API. So let us release the first version. And I think the webhooks is a big request, especially from our members. So we will look into the evolution of our API.
Thank you. Yeah, this is more like a feature request. Please allow us to choose the first day of the week using the calendar. I think we will save all this discussion here, and Yuri will take it into account when we will develop the next iteration of these features. So a gentle question about exporting and interoperability. I worry about backups at time could there be any other export or import options for backup reasons? Roman is answered. I think with development of API, it will be much more, when API will be released, much easier to have all of this. I'm sure community could be easily build different kind of converters and auto backups. Just we need to deliver API. Speaking local first social team over the wired is doing a lot of. Tag as an object is still planned. Yes, it's planned. Not so this year we are not able to unfortunately deliver it. It takes a little bit more time. The next year, early next year, it will come in one of the first releases. Maybe not the first, but a little bit later. What else? Will the iPad app receive any more love soon? Unfortunately not, because we don't have capacity, to be honest, for this. And it's general question what to do with our mobile applications. And
because they're native and require a lot of resources, and at the same time still behind. And we are internally discussing if it's more meaningful to focus more of our efforts on desktop and run faster on the leading platform, and then increasing the number of members so that it would be more meaningful to increase the teams, because without increasing the teams on clients, we won't be, it's unlikely that we can become on par with desktop. So we're thinking maybe it's more meaningful to prioritize desktop platform even more. And API extensions, all of the superpowers around a rich client.
I see the important note that the main thing is proprietary now. Until then, all the commitments can be drowned in money. I think you're right here, but at the same time, we are discussing ability we may introduce adjustment to the license when we introduce a timer to it. So after some time, automatically all the client code will be
open source.
Fully open source.
So we have a deep commitment to the open source software, but we also need to understand that we invested a lot of time into the R&D, and for us it's important to reach some kind of milestones before for us it's possible to not only open the code but also release all the rights to this code. That's why what currently we are discussing is a timer on the code that would both allow us some time to capitalize on the work that we do to build the network that we envisioned, but at the same time fulfill all, our commitment to the open source software. But we haven't yet arrived at this decision. But next year, I'm sure
maybe
we will communicate.
Yeah, till the next town hall in the end of January, I think.
I would say season 1. We make this. We will publish a decision on becoming more open source.
Another important question, does that mean you are killing the mobile apps? No, absolutely not. We just are thinking how to better focus them on the experience where they can really shine. So
There will be more, I would say, companion apps and focused on exactly on the on-the-go use cases when you can view and you can communicate. But for the next year, and once we have more members in the network, so once we grow, we would be able to invest exactly. It's our dream to have iPad apps, of course. But in order to get there, most probably, this is how we think we need to focus on the desktop platform that can grow faster. And once it grows and gets more memberships, we would be able to invest again into and catch up with desktop.
Chris wrote that I would be more likely to use multiplayer if there was more control over privilege for space members. I don't want members to mess things up. Also, I find having no ability to remotely remove devices concerning in the event of device loss or theft. Yeah, so this is what we plan to address. In terms of the access control rights, we would recommend to use different spaces. Think of them as groups. Like I have with me and Jana, it's our small group. We have different groups like business team, for example, and other teams. And we recommend to think this way, more like you do it in Messenger. You have a group and all the people who are in the group have control over the group. And there will be certain roles. And this edge cases that you are mentioning with device loss, we definitely plan to cover. However, right now, don't have it in our roadmap. We have more important things to deliver first because even we don't have even notifications right now.
But there will be more roles delivered in the
Yes.
collaborative space. So there will be more roles delivered, I even hope, in the season 1, which will, for example, allow people only to comment and
Yeah, they're
chat.
not in season 1. It's,
No, maybe in season 2 then.
Yeah.
That would
maybe. Do you next? Yeah, thank you for good words, Chris. Then could you answer my earlier question? Do you have any ETA for MFA implementation like Ubico, passkeys, kind of hardware key? As I mentioned, we have plans to deliver more like traditional ways to authorize using Gmail or something like this.
but securely.
Securely, yeah. So only if somebody could get access to your Gmail, they would not be able to recover your account. But if they have this and the passphrase, then they can recover. So this we will uncover more about this, but not traditional multi-factor authentication.
I think there was also a question, Anton, about right to left support. A constant question about right to left support.
No plans for this because it's really hard, especially on our mobile. I think I can't answer it right now. So it's on desktop, I think we can deliver, but many other things to do. We have to prioritize things. This one. Are there any plans to simplify the setup for? So I think I already answered. About no, so of course simplifying some posting. Yeah, I said that there are plans for this. Yeah. Time to address web.
Short cards for the community.
Plugins. Yeah. Yeah, would be nice to have the ability to embed photos from the web via URL. We discussed, I think it's somewhere in the community that it's brings some security issues. If you can have this URL and then you have collaborative space, then you can put something malicious there, and it's from security perspective not a priority. Please address my backlog question. It's above. Okay, above. We need to find them. Could you please help to find this backlog? Okay. I don't seem to be able to understand. Have documentation on that names are non-unique and everything is related to its IDs. seem to be this Damian, would be cool to discuss this on forum about IDs and then these IDs.
In global names.
Yeah, because global names, you just can't recreate. You really own the unique name.
But I think
And
it's on
also-
object names. I think these are object
names. Okay. Slack. This we covered.
I think video chats, we are not targeting video chats at the moment because it's a
It's very far
different kind of technology. So more text-based and more natural merge of documents and
Yeah, while I'm scrolling, maybe somebody wants to vocally ask the question, so you don't wait.
You can raise the hand.
Raise the hand and. Will be possible in the future to click on a relation and get a set of that automatically. In the future, definitely. It's kind of tag as an object, data as an object. It's towards this direction. We need to think more about from the product perspective, but not soon, but eventually, definitely. So. So update on backlog features estimations. Which exactly?
It depends on the feature, and what we have shared with you are only the big, how to say, big stones, and we will see in more in if there would be possibility of any of the features in backlog, probably from some improving filters. I want to deliver that, but we don't want at the moment to commit on the backlog. So please expect them more like a surprise. So we will probably commit only to big things that we have shared. And we only shared more like half of the year or like 1-2 seasons. Not having plans for the second half of the year, because we first need to deliver the season 1 to be able to understand what we can commit, so that we don't promise what we can't.
I see the question related to the new authorization that which will be if somebody will would stall cookies, would be they able to log in? No, because for this you would need another part of the key, which is either.
So the key will be divided into several parts, and if someone hacks your Gmail, they would not be able to recover your key. Only if they have multiple of your places, this is possible, but this is less likely than hacking one.
Michael Young wrote that I'm a doctor and I personally think this product is extremely suitable as a notebook for patients to keep their own records. It would be very cool if you could contact us and spend some time with us on the call so we can better understand demands. And
we would love to make a template like that.
Yes, and we see this as a good use case, because who wants their records being accessible with somebody, not a doctor? I see the hand raised. Please, Peter.
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Just a quick question about your security model. I was wondering, are you planning to be what is called private or anonymous? Like private and nobody can read, or anonymous and like I want to send data to WikiLeaks, kind of anonymous? Just a curiosity question, because I don't really. You say privacy and data control all the time. I'm interested.
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's in fact privacy and anonymity are different things, and our focus is not on anonymity, because anonymity is even harder to cook than privacy. Our focus on privacy and ownership. So you must be sure that whatever you create, you can access, and nobody can access this information
Without keys.
But we can't guarantee that somebody can't understand who can access this data, because this is the internet, and we have a lot of traces around, and anonymity is a different topic, harder topic, and we assume if somebody needs anonymity, they can take care of this anonymity themselves using VPN or additional measures to cover that. So no plans to cover.
But at the
this.
same time, we even think that not in all cases anonymity is a plus. Because we also we target Anytype use cases for not for anonymous people doing some illegal thing on the internet. We are targeting it on us, normal people, where I want actually to be sure this is Anton, not some anonymous person, and I want to message and collaborate with him. So we are focused on having trust into the system, and so next year, for example, a lot of our discussions are about how to remove scam, bots, all of these impersonations, all of this kind of use cases, and increasing verifiability and trust between the people versus providing everyone an ability to be anonymous, which we think it's a different kind of software for different kind of purposes. Our purposes is for families, friends, teams, and communities, and their trusted connections are much more important than anonymity, but with full privacy.
Okay, thank you. Good answer. Thank you.
We have another hand raised.
No, it's
Peter.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you again for making this amazing product. You know, the fact it rides on IPFS makes it very unique. I love where you're going with the multiplayer, as you call it. I think that's very exciting for a lot of us here. Question specifically, I'm trying to make it a question that other people ask too. I've kind of noticed on forums and whatnot that it's not a big deal, but I know you're already working on it, so maybe we can talk about when it's coming. Two things: inline elements such as to-dos and calendar. And I forgot the other one. So anyway, if you can talk about that one in particular, yeah.
Inline to-dos. This is we don't have in roadmap, but really have in our wish list. We need to discover this. Like, you mean when you create just object as with the type, let's say, with the format of a task inline, right?
That's correct, because right now tasks are block level elements, if I understand correctly. You're not able to really put them inline. And I think a lot of people are looking for things like the to-do task. Let's say you have a project page, right? And in there it could be peppered with tasks or dates, right? Inline. And then you would have a set or a collection where you're filtering and you're basically grabbing all of these dates and whatnot that may have a tag associated with it or whatever. And I think that that's a use case you see in a lot of other projects, not projects, but I mean a lot of tools as well. And I've heard on the forums that people are kind of looking for it. I myself as well. So yeah.
Yeah, me too, personally, to be honest. And this definitely will be the part of this big UX improvements project. I just can't commit any date right now because, but it's definitely will come, and I recognize it myself. I think all of us recognize there was some technical difficulties to deliver this because technically you need to preview one object within the another object, and also related to transclusion topic. And with this new AnyStore, which technically allow us to do these things, it will be eventually delivered.
But not in the first season,
Not
on the first half of the next year, because there we have this really notifications, web publishing, and group chats, a lot of really hard things that we want to ship first. And then we can look another wave of UX improvements here and there.
Perfect. Thank you for the answer. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the question. And the calendar also, because I saw many questions about the calendar, it's not our priority right now because it creates another level of complexity. If you think of the calendar, then you need to think about integrations with other calendars. And so it touches many layers. When we will hit this, we will have a discussion again on this topic and what you expect from it, not now. I have a question, guys. I love Anytype vision, but I am really a beginner. Would you have a sort of a path or a journey you advise to follow to understand all the possible possibilities and how to make the best use of Anytype, whether it's through YouTube tutorials, FAQ articles? Yeah, we were not good at communicating this. I think right now the best way is to ask people on the forum or go through YouTube tutorials, or maybe just catch some person who can help you show how they use of Anytype. But we are on the path to simplify exactly the primitives and the building blocks to make the first experience more straightforward. So you would need to think about all the possible ways how you can make the system, just start it as it is, and then evolve from this.
So we hope to simplify the UX so that you have less questions to ask. This will be the priority.
Yeah, with chats will be possible to add annotations or comments to pages, even with a private unshared space. What would be great? So the communication experience coming in several parts. First part is just one group chat per space. It's more like in a
an ability to discuss everything you have there without leaving the space.
Without leaving the space. The next part, we call it discussions, where you will be able to discuss every object. For example, I have a task and I could have a discussion to it. And
including discussing, mentioning some of the blocks,
yes.
And discussing them.
And even in the context of the personal space, especially when API will be released and the local AI will be released, so even you will be able to chat with your local agent about the structure, more like you have it right now, for example, in document mode in OpenAI.
So the first will be one group chat, and then we hope then we will also deliver one-to-one communication, and after that we will deliver what you can call comments or object discussion, and then mentioning blocks in the discussion. So over the year, I think we want to deliver the use case, but maybe it will come in the second half of the second season, somewhere there.
Yeah. So the third time I ask, we're publishing in January or later, guys?
We want in January.
Yes.
Want to have public beta in January.
In January, so.
The alpha version, I would say, but we hope to ship in January.
That's in production.
Yes, so it might be very rough.
That's still missing the ability to do handwritten notes.
Handwritten notes, yes. This block on mobile is so strongly requested.
Okay,
we will try to look, but it's very difficult because it's mobile devices, and even to bring a chat experience there is very hard with notifications. A lot of little things, and native development is more difficult. So it's a huge part of the backlog. We will try to look at again into handwritten support.
So I think it's time, and I see any word when the end of the year update will be, as I mentioned today, next week. Please expect update the next week. Okay, then.
Thank you everyone for participating. I hope it was a good year for you, and I hope we delivered something that was useful. But I want to thank you and appreciate what the team has delivered. I think it was for us, you know, this multiplayer was always 6 months into the future, and we lived like that for several years because the underlying technology wasn't ready. And it's really nice to finish this year knowing that multiplayer was 6 months or more before, and that now we can bring even communication and other extended use cases with all of this API, local AI, which were always deprioritized because we first needed the underlying technology be ready. So thank you for coming.
And thank you for your patience.
And thank you for your patience. And I think you will have to have a little bit even more patience for us. But look, we were promising and we have delivered. Maybe a month is missed, but the vision is fully delivered. And we stay committed here to have digital freedoms unconditional to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you
for sharing this hour with us.
Yes.
Spread the word.
It's always very recharging to have this town halls, because not always you read good notes in the internet about what we are building. Mostly people complaining, and when we come here,
voices are the loudest. And seeing you people come is really important and supportive for us.
Yes.
So thank you for support, and please subscribe to our Substack Positive Sum.
Yeah, next week or maybe this week, a new article. This week's new article written by me is coming there.
And let's talk in January. We will share some new stuff.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye. And happy holidays. If we don't talk before them, happy holidays to everyone.
Let people say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao.